Hi, this is Teacher Nicole at Literacy Pittsburgh. This is a video for citizenship. Today, we will talk about the Constitution. The Constitution. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. The Constitution sets up the government. The Constitution sets up the government. What does the Constitution do? Sets up the government. Sets up means organizes. Organizes. The Constitution sets up 3 branches: President, Congress, Supreme Court. The Constitution sets up the government. The Constitution was written in 1787. Okay. Written. Past for write. Now I write. Before, the Constitution was written. Written. The Constitution was written in 1787. When was the Constitution written? 1787. Good. Let's look at this picture. Tell me about this picture. We see many men talking. They are together at a big meeting. A big meeting. There's a man standing and he has a document in his hands. He has a document. This is the Constitutional Convention. The Constitutional Convention. What is convention? Convention is many people together. A special meeting. The Constitutional Convention, a meeting about the Constitution. A meeting about the Constitution. The Constitution was written at the Constitutional Convention. The Constitution was written at the Constitutional Convention. Okay. They had a big meeting, a convention, and many people wrote the Constitution. The Constitution was written at this special meeting at the Constitutional Convention. Okay, listen to the question. What happened at the Constitutional Convention? What happened at the Constitutional Convention? The Constitution was written. The Constitution was written. Now let's look at a different document. A different document. Federalist Papers. Federalist Papers. Remember, at the Constitutional Convention, the Constitution was written. First, the Constitution was written. Next, many people must vote yes or no. Yes, we want the Constitution, or no, we don't want the Constitution. Okay. The Federalist Papers, okay, were documents. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the Constitution. Okay. The Federalist Papers wanted people to say yes, yes to the Constitution. The Federalist Papers said, yes, Constitution is good. They supported the Constitution. They said, Constitution is a good idea. The Federalist Papers. Documents. People write documents to say, Constitution is a good idea. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the Constitution. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the Constitution. The Federalist Papers wanted people to vote yes. They supported the Constitution. They wanted people to vote yes. John Jay was one writer of the Federalist Papers. John Jay was one man who was a writer of the Federalist Papers. There were 3 or 4 writers. John Jay was one. Okay. John Jay. John Jay was one of the writers of the Federalist Papers. Okay, listen to the question. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the Constitution. Name one of the writers. John Jay. John Jay. Many words, right? Listen for Federalist Papers. If you hear Federalist Papers, the Federalist Papers, name one of the writers. John Jay. John Jay. Okay, let's look at a different man. A different man. Do you know him? This is Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin was a U.S. diplomat. Benjamin Franklin was a U.S. diplomat. What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? U.S. diplomat. U.S. diplomat. Here's another man. Maybe you know him. Very famous. George Washington. George Washington. George Washington was the first president. Who was the first president? George Washington. George Washington was the father of our country. George Washington was the father of our country. Who is the father of our country? George Washington. George Washington. Washington is on the dollar bill. Washington is on the dollar bill. Another man, John Adams. John Adams. John Adams was the second president. John Adams was the second president. Second, number 2. First, George Washington. Second, John Adams. And New York City was the first capital. New York City was the first capital. Now the capital is Washington, D.C. But before, the capital was New York City. Let's practice the questions. What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. What does the Constitution do? Sets up the government. When was the Constitution written? (1787). What happened at the Constitutional Convention? The Constitution was written. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. John Jay. What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? U.S. diplomat. Who is the father of our country? George Washington. Who was the first president? George Washington. Now let's practice writing. Okay? You can write the sentences, take a picture, and send it to me. Are you ready? President's Day is in February. President's Day is in February. President's Day. Presidents apostrophe. President's Day. Day. President's Day is in February. February. President's Day is in February. Washington was the first president. Washington was the first president. Washington. 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 Was. Was. The. The. First. First. President. President. Washington was the first president. Adams was the second president. Adams was the second president. Adams, A D A M S, Adams, was the second, SECOND, second president. Adams was the second president. Washington is the father of our country. Washington is the father of our country. Father, Father, father. Of, of. Our, our. Country, COUNTRY, country. Washington is the father of our country. New York City was the first capital. New York City was the first capital. New York City. N-E-W, new. Y-O-R-K, York. City, C-I-T-Y, city. New York City was the first capital. C-A-P-I-T-A-L, capital. New York City was the first capital. Now let's practice reading. Practice saying the question out loud. Who was the first president? Who was the first president? When is President's Day? When is President's Day? What was the first capital? What was the first capital? Who is the father of our country? Who is the father of our country? Who was the second president? Who was the second president? We are finished talking about the Constitution today. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.